It is Codeman Friday. Hello, all. Let's see. What was this one? Surprise Secret Service did not rush Trump out of the. Oh, when the person collapsed. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised too, Farmer. It makes sense. I hadn't thought about it until you mentioned it, though. Hello, Jen. Hello, Bob, Trish, Jason, Rain Man, Bridget, Flying Squirrel, Dolly, Grumpy, Cosmic Soul, Mitzi. Hello, Mr. Jensen. Hello, Angela. Hello, Chad, Paul. I'm here finally. Now we'll see if we get anything good. Oh no, Ted said identical twins signing in from chemo center. Please pray for my identical twin, Fred. Praying for him, Ted. Hello, freedom fighter. Give us some good news. There's some out there. We'll take what we get. Hopefully, it means we are there. Hello, J Bar, New Envies. Yeah, I'm with you. So ready for Friday. It's been a week of Mondays. Been slow and weird this weekend news. Not been bad, just weird. Hello, one Titan. Time is flying. There's no doubt about that. The Fed's out of options, rate cuts, money printing, balance sheet reversals. They call it policy, but it's really panic. This is endgame economics where hope replaces discipline and the illusion of control finally breaks. They're not cutting rates because things are strong. They're cutting because the system's cracking. Inflation's eating savings. The labor market's stalling. Confidence in the dollar's fading fast. For decades, the Fed built a house of paper. Now they're striking the match that could burn it down, leaving you to pay the price. Every cycle ends the same way: bubbles, bailouts, broken retirements. That's why smart investors are moving to what's real: gold and silver. When's the last time you actually held the wealth you spent your life working for? My friends at Noble Gold Investments have been helping Americans move from paper wealth into real, tangible assets. Numbers on a screen can disappear, but physical gold and silver, they've outlasted every crisis in history. You can find out more by going to markzgold.com or visit noblegoldinvestments.com to get a free wealth protection kit today. Again, markzgold.com. Discover how simple it is to protect your wealth. Hello, totally awesome. Hey, what do you guys want to talk about until we get into some news? I do love this shirt. It is a very nice shirt. Tony Hood, good to see Whipster. Let's see. Texas and Tacoma desperately need a pill to regulate my addiction. That is too much. Gary checking in said, thank you for the prayers and well wishes. My dad made it through his brain surgeries recovering. Can we get an amen out there somewhere? Paul, nothing fun on CMKX. I even reached out yesterday hoping to find out if they had given any kind of update. Quiet. Oh, that's right. Bert's birthday. Happy birthday to the Bertster. Not his real name, but that's to protect his secret identity. Wait, that is his secret identity. Yeah, I don't know how you keep doing it, but I'm glad you are. Keep you around, medbed you up. David, getting ready for that cold blast this weekend. You're probably not going to be taking the bike out, but you could be a hardcore fella. Let's see. Wrap the outside pipes, take in glass flower pots, etc. Yeah, fun, Paul. I agree with you. Said your shirt is nice, but not as nice as a gold one would be. Amen. Oh, Terry. Thank you, Miss Terry. Oh, that cat was moving around behind me. Sweet. Tebow birthday. Happy birthday. Can we just run with Tebow? I like Tebow. Of course, I like, a football fame. There you go, Joe. Go Utes. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I have the greatest collection of college shirts in the history of the world, I think. Let's see, Oregon coming to play your Hawkeyes. Oh, going to the game. Enjoy. Enjoy it. Whoa, it just ripped. Killing a little bit of time before we get started. Yeah. Are we there yet? Oh, we're so close. I'm going to do it in my Pam from Archer voice. Are we there yet? Anna, please let us know if I need help putting on the golden outfit. Buenos dias, ladies. Let's get this party started. Flying to, yeah, anybody got some fun Thanksgiving plans coming up? I know a lot of folks are going to be alone. A lot of folks are worried whether they can put a meal on the table. I know Helping Hands has been preparing for that specifically. Planning on tomorrow picking up extra turkeys here to help people. Let's see, Camaro, we need a united front in our country, united in one voice prayer for our way of life. We do. I've got an interesting piece for you to read today, Camaro Commando, on that one. Got an interesting one. Let me copy that. Actually, there's been a couple of good ones. Very thoughtful stuff. People are thinking deeper, and I'm find it very, very comforting to know that people are thinking bigger. I'm going to drop a link for those that want to do a little bit of a deep dive, kind of how we got to where we're at. I know we got to get to the news. It's almost time. Top 20 chilling insights from Yuri Bezmenov. How many people know who Yuri is? Curious. I know a number of you will know exactly who that is. KGB defector. Let us know the plans. How they were going to take over, and spells it out. Very interesting. Bernard knows who it was. Very interesting take. Just a really fantastic Substack by a fellow named Doug Ross. Wait, stayed at your house? That would be cool. Oh, wait, slow it down, Bert. Said, please tell everyone thanks for all the prayers and good wishes, good thoughts through all my health challenges, and for the birthday wishes. Pile on them with birthday wishes. Anybody else sound off? 62, if they're getting anything from a Nasera Desera, yes, they would have to go home. Maybe set a rotation. Since my two kids can't get together for holidays anymore, I stay home alone. Not going to choose one house or the other. Start rotating them. Say Thanksgiving at one, Christmas at the next, and switch it around the following year. That's the only good suggestion I can come up with for you. Yeah, John Galt, they've been very open about it for 50 plus years. Quote, supposedly by Lenin, take over the healthcare and schools, and we've got them. Yeah, let's see if we can knock it out for your birthday. United we stand, a cool 60 degrees, sitting on the back porch deck, enjoying the quiet before the storm. Enjoy it while you can. Where are we at? We're close enough time-wise. Let's jump into it so we will be ready for Mr. C. We're going to touch on that today, Valerie. We've been talking about it this week. Now let's do it. Let's get to it. Let's hit the news banner and fly. No bond update for you today, guys, but I do have a group that says that they have positioned them for next week. They believe that they will get to send out the beginnings of dollars over the next week. Let's cross fingers, hope it's accurate, guys. Stay grounded in this. We get all kinds of rumors. Stay grounded. Some of them are going to be accurate, some are not. Wanted to start with that one on the group side. I haven't had anything from CMKX or Redemption folks or contacts at the bank other than that they are on call for the weekend, which is a pretty usual thing. All right, now let's get to Sudani. Between popularity and international support, the Coalition for Reconstruction and Development confirms the increase in the chances of Al Sudani for a second term. I told you guys he was spreading, getting a much broader base. Coalition for Reconstruction and Development. So distancing himself from Maliki, the framework, coordination framework, more embracing the people. Remember, he has, depending on the poll, as high as a 76% approval rating by the people. Their politics and their structure works a little differently, so he is still going to have to put together a coalition of some sort. And it is nice to see that he is doing just that and focusing on reconstruction, development, and reform. So that's reform in banking. And remember what their number one reform is, their white reforms that they've talked about. The infrastructure, everything necessary so they can lift their purchasing power. So when I see those stories, I feel good. Yes, there is a lot of pressure in politics being played, which is atypical before an election. Do not freak out and read too much into it. When you see one analyst out there, one person, one prime minister, they're going to throw it out there as big and as extreme as they can because it is election season. How many crazy things do we see all over our news in an election cycle? Oh my God, they're eating babies. Oh my God, they did this. Keep in mind, we are days away from an election for them. Do not run around with your like Chicken Little over the stories that are coming out right now because they're meant to be extreme to get a response and get you to the polls, just like they are in the U.S. during election season and all over the world. Regions Oil has entered a new equation after the water agreement with Turkey. HCl, hydro, and carbon law. This one is important. We continue to make solid progress on the HCl, or what we call the oil and gas agreement, which many suspect will be done soon. Many expected, myself included, it'd be done sooner. They talk about some of the challenges. Cost of extracting Kurdish oil, 16. It's higher there than in other regions because of U.S. companies there. They've touched on that a lot of late. They've touched on how Iraq is, well, they say becoming dependent. The reality is they are partnering with companies from Turkey and partnering with companies from the United States to increase technology development, systems, and water for that region, which is water challenge. So there's a lot of great things happening between the two of them. And we've just got to paint it one way or the other, meaning political season, election season. So some people are going to say it's a great thing. Some people are going to say, oh, it's a bad thing. They don't have a plan for you, but they just want you to know it's a bad thing so they can get you out to the polls. Legal expert clarifies the time of the end of work of the current House of Representatives. I wanted to put that one in there. Everybody's like, oh my God, it's not done yet. They're getting ready to vote. What does that mean? It's nothing's going to happen. Does not mean that. The current government is in power until January 8th, 2026. There is not a problem in that one. But they got a lot to get done. I did want to touch on this one again. One of you sent that one, and I just loved it. World's largest sovereign wealth fund returns 5.8% amid AI optimism. The sovereign wealth fund, we are talking about Norway's. It's like $360,000 per person is what the country has invested, squirreled away, saved. That is huge. Many other countries now eyeing this approach, what I call responsible capitalism, taking care of your people. It's going to take a while to build that. We still have to get out of debt first. Keeping up with. All right. What else do we have in the news? That really is on the RV front about, well, maybe this one ties in. German recession deepens industrial jobs and investments under severe pressure. There are a number of things here that will show you fundamentally our economy has been broken for some time. Trump is the one holding the hot potato when the buzzer goes off. So we're talking about the German recession. German economy sinking even deeper into recession. In its latest business survey, the Institute of the German Economy now also sees mounting pressure on the labor market. Meanwhile, no reforms are expected from policymakers. The Cologne-based IW has published its semi-annual business survey among more than 2,500 companies, and the results could hardly be more sobering. New analysis presented over the weekend paints a grim picture of the state of the German economy. The recession is deepening across all sectors. Todos. No part of the economy remains untouched. No turnaround in sight. No plan in sight. Depending on the sector, 36 to 41% of companies plan to cut jobs next year in Germany. I wanted to point this one out because a lot of people are out there, the press, especially Democrats, trying to paint as Trump is crashing the world. Well, crashing the U.S. economy. This is a worldwide event. Demand at food banks started escalating in 2024. That trend has simply continued. Now we're hearing, oh my God, they're under pressure. There's even more. The SNAP thing has them pressure. That pressure started a year ago, before Trump was ever in office, before he was elected. This trend, these economics, these fundamentals were already there. You guys even heard me. I was like, I'm glad he's running, and I'm glad he won it, but it's not an election I would have wanted to be in. Although it's one somebody needed to be in. It's not one anybody wanted to, needed to be. And I think he understands that. October layoff reached highest level for the month in 22 years, excuse me. Hiring has also slowed from a year ago as the low hire climate persists. Of course, guys, keep in mind, we could go artificial and keep pumping the government. Majority of that instability in the job market is in government because we are shrinking it. This is like necessary medicine. Doesn't taste great, but we need to take it if we're ever going to be healthy. Fundamentals, fundamentals, fundamentals. We do have a few wannabe trolls in here. Y'all are fun. Sweep you back under the bridge. Trump administration must fully fund food stamps for November, according to the judge. I don't care what it takes. Take the money from wherever. Said, take it from here. Not funding it's against the law. Funding it where you want them to pull the money from would be against the law, too. I find this very interesting as judges are ordering the president to break laws in order to fulfill their laws. Meanwhile, it's more just drama and a fight while real people suffer. Yeah, I'm with you, Kelly. I wonder why people are saying Trump hasn't done enough. Shoot, it's not even been a year yet. Yeah, no, I'm with you. He is supposed to somehow reverse 60, 70 years of massive overspending. He's somehow supposed to fix many decades of unfair trade balance. We'll just call them unfair trade or unbalanced trade policies and numbers. He's suddenly supposed to fix all of these things that Democrats haven't been able to fix. 2 years ago, they couldn't fix it. 1 year ago, they couldn't fix it. 20 years ago, again, they couldn't fix it. He's supposed to suddenly fix all these things that neither party could fix, hasn't been able to fix for, well, since the beginning of time. And he's getting blamed for it because, well, he hasn't fixed it yet. Meanwhile, he has made tremendous progress on that front. It really is laughable. All right, need families. That mean it's your 70. Oh, wait a minute. Wayne 72nd. 70. Yeah, 72nd. See, Minnesota SNAP program under investigation, 174% increase in the last couple of years. We already know why. That's an easy one. Yaz Child, you should probably wait and ask that question when Mr. C joins us. Because then he'll be here to answer it. Trek for Life, proof that we've been in a one-party system for decades. Yes, we have. And I blame the Republican Party more than the Democrat Party. I know I just upset a few of you. It's because they claim to care about these things and then don't do anything. Democrats just don't claim to care. Well, they claim to care and do not. That's you know what I'm getting at. Watching this one play out has been, laughable, but in a painful graveside humor way. Food banks all over the U.S. are being overwhelmed by a tsunami of hungry people. Demand at most of them up 30 to 50%, some of them nearly double. And again, this trend started in 2024. It has been ongoing for some time as they have been having to increase their numbers over. That was before the SNAP crisis. That was before Donald Trump was elected. I know it's inconvenient if you're on the left and you want to blame them for everything and you just can't get away with it with any logic. But you can totally lie to yourself and get away with it. Let's see, Bernard, I remember the Carter recession in the late 70s. It wasn't until the third year of Reagan's first term for things to get better. Exactly. We saw the direction change. You could see the ship trying to right its direction in those early 80s after he was first elected, but it did. It took 2 to 3 years for things to really pivot and change. The difference was, though, Reagan was a tremendous communicator, and he told the people how difficult it was going to be, what was going to happen, that we had to take our medicine. And I think this is probably one of the biggest failures of the Trump administration so far is they're just not good at getting that message out. They're good at what they're doing. They just need to do a better job getting the message out for more support from people. Gas rationing, yeah, for those that remember it. I think that's part of our problem, Craig. Most of America doesn't remember history. They don't study it. They don't remember it. It's temporary. Things have changed. It's been good for a year. Now it's forever going to be good. They don't remember the 10 years it sucked or the 20 years it sucked. They need a reminder. I wish they weren't getting one, but they need one. Bill, any news about Soudani pushing for the RV? Still being told he's pushing. Here we are 4 days away. He's going to have to push really hard to get it done. I hope he does. I didn't mean to put that one up. Let's put that one up. And that's the one I was talking about a little earlier. I know I'm rushing through the news today to get to Mr. C because we didn't have him last week. Top 20 chilling insights from Yuri Bezmenov. Yuri, well, okay. Passed away in 93, born in 39, known as Thomas David Schumann, was a Soviet journalist and KGB operative specializing in propaganda and ideological subversion. He defected. He came here. He told us their playbook. Now let's just read it. Here are 20 of Bezmenov's key insights. He told us ideological subversion is a long-term process spanning 15 to 60 years designed to change the perception of reality in a target nation without a need for military force. Only about 15% of KGB efforts focused on traditional espionage. The majority targeted psychological warfare and ideological manipulation. The goal is to demoralize the society by undermining its moral, educational, and cultural foundations, making people unable to recognize or defend against threats. Demoralization takes 15 to 20 years, the time needed to educate one generation with subversive ideas. Educational system at all levels are key targets. Turning schools into indoctrination centers that promote relativism over facts and critical thinking. Media infiltration sows confusion by amplifying divisive narratives and discrediting objective truth. So I keep screaming fundamentals, 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 common sense. Religion is attacked by portraying it as an outdated or oppressive, eroding spiritual anchors and replacing them with state loyalty or nihilism. Family structures are weakened through promotion of individualism, divorce, and alternative lifestyles that fragment social cohesion. He told us this long before this movement. Moral relativism blurs right and wrong, leading to apathy and inability to unite against a society's true enemies. History is rewritten to vilify national heroes and traditions, fostering self-doubt and guilt in the populace. Whoa, boy, have they been effective with that one. Following demoralization, destabilization, the last 2 to 5 years target the economy, foreign relations, and defense to create internal chaos. Wow. 2 to 5 years, also known as the Biden administration. Economic sabotage widens class divide, shrinks the middle class. What is shrinking now? What is become the largest growing segment of the folks at the food banks? The former middle class. Breeds resentment through inflation, shortages, and inequality. Everything has to be equal, right? Inequality. That's the new mantra. Crisis stage erupts in violence and upheaval. where demoralization and destabilized society demands radical solutions. Boy, that really does sound like Riot Inc. as they try to create this. Problem is, we're not ready for it. During the crisis, people will willingly surrender freedoms for promised security, paving the way for authoritarian control. Wait a minute, maybe that was 2024 and the COVID shutdowns and crackdowns. Normalization is the final stage where subversive change becomes the new normal, institutionalized and irreversible. They got a curve. They got a speed bump in their plan, and we're still fighting. Opposition is silenced through censorship, marginalization, and elimination in the normalization stage. That is what they attempted between 20 and 24. They attempted to normalize censorship and marginalize this group. You know, we're not even worth saving. We shouldn't even get health care. You remember those days? The process relies on useful idiots, well-meaning Western intellectuals, elites, and activists and leaders who unwittingly advance societal suicide. Wow, boy, were they successful in that one. Once subversion succeeds, even exposure to the truth won't reverse it, as the population rejects facts that contradict their reprogrammed worldview. Bezmenov's insights resonate today for obvious reasons, from our fractured educational institutions, corrupted sciences, to zero trust in experts. Yeah, we need to pay attention to that one. We need to pay attention to that one. Sounds like a page out of John Birch playbook. Sounds like a play out of Zelensky and Obama's book, or Obama's book about his father. Does, doesn't it? Oh, that's great, Kelly. Your dad has Mr. C's thesis. It's dry, but excellent read. I'm just enjoying some of these. All right, let's see what did Knight Rider have to say. Mark, that sounds as an original 3-letter agency game plan, doesn't it? Exactly what Trump administration is exposing today, thus making the Sarah and Jacera delay. Just saying. I think that could be the reason we haven't seen it completed yet, but definitely beating away at that one, making the changes, waking folks up, educating. We got to focus on fundamentals and common sense and call out stupid when stupid is stupid. All right, I'm ready for Mr. C, and then we can do birthdays. Let me get stuff prepared here. Now we are going to be ready when he is ready. Oh, wait a minute. That just went flying by. What did you have to say, Colette? Just know it sucks to have to rely on Snap. No, it does. I hate it for the people. We're in the most prosperous. We live in a nation of prosperity, and we cannot survive without that. That alone is troubling. Now they're talking about food insecurity, long-term food insecurity, stuff like that. Why? Plant a garden, plant trees. The world's plenty fertile. Don't let them convince you that we have to live in a world of scarcity when there is no need. We can change it. And we can change it without a lot of dollars. We're not talking about huge investments. Hello, Mr. C.
Good morning, Mark. How are you today?
Much better with you. A lot of folks missed you.
Yeah, sorry about that. It's been a crazy week, or actually 2 weeks for us. First off, my brother's doing well. In fact, they're anticipating him going home today, which is surprising.
Wow, that is fantastic. A lot of folks were confused. It was Mr. C's brother that had surgery, not Mr. C.
Yeah, he had a quadruple bypass, much like what I had, and it is hereditary. So I'm glad to see that it was taken care of, and he's doing better.
All right, I know we're gonna be jumping into questions. Is this finally gonna be Christmas? I know we always hear it every year. It's gonna be a big one. It's gonna be a great one. Have you heard anything to give you an idea of timing? And I would just a reminder: we don't know when this is going.
No, in fact, everybody's scratching their head and confused because we have not heard anything. It's very, very quiet. Very quiet.
I'm not taking that as a bad thing. Many people out there run around like chickens, like the sky's falling.
Yeah, I quite agree. And it is concerning, but I'll tell you what's interesting to me. A couple different things. One is obviously this last local election has everybody turned upside down because in our area, the Dems swept the rolls across the board. They won everything. And I think that has to do a lot with what you were talking about earlier, communication from the Trump administration. I have two questions I'd like to delve into a little bit this morning, if possible.
All right, have at it.
Okay, the first one is, and this is kind of funny because last night we were watching the news, my wife and I, and she said, "Why are the Democrats so hateful of Trump?" I said, "Well, that's history because it goes back to money. It really does go back to money." And over 100 years ago, 1913, with the Federal Reserve Act, as it was in place, was an effort to recreate the control by the British crown or empire over us. But basically, it started the way with the presidency in 1913 to go to the progressive manner, which FDR, or not FDR, Teddy Roosevelt continued all the way through FDR. But what's interesting to me is the money came about because of one, Joseph Kennedy. He had an exclusive contract to import Scotch whiskey. However, that was sort of cut short when the
Prohibition.
prohibition and abolition came in, and prohibition in particular. And so he used bootlegging with Al Capone and the Bella Story family out of Chicago to import illegally Scotch whiskey. Now, what's interesting about that is Bella Story family controls a lot of the crime in Wisconsin and out of Chicago. And that brings us to Leo Wanta, which is kind of strange. But Leo was placed in Wisconsin to keep tabs on the Bella Story crime families and to see if they can stop them. At the same time, the Kennedy operation had an exclusive forfeiting contract, which was up until just recently going full bore. And with the progressive government in the U.S. From 1913 on, they dug holes underneath the structure to get at the roots to disseminate monies in a covert manner around the world. And in particular, if you understand history, you'll know that Chicago was a hotbed of support for communism in the early 20s, big time, even all the way through World War II. So Leo was placed there to keep tabs on this and to actually stop it. And what's interesting in that, out of that operation, he was actually convicted, Leo. And Leo had death threats against him. So they pulled him out and he went to Washington. And he worked in the White House under the Reagan administration at that time. And they could not even stop the death threats coming forward. So they put him on a plane to China with Reagan's entree to Mao Zedong to find a way to come together. And what they found was that through Leo, they found a connection. He landed there as the first American since World War II. And he had this message from Reagan that somehow they could help China become part of the World Trade Organization, WTO. That led the coordination with Howe Kwok and Leo Wanta in doing a major forfeiting operation out of Singapore with Citibank. And that settlement allowed them to fund in an enormous way China's entry to WTO. Now, as a result of the progressive governance, which I'm going to go into in a second here, there were avenues that allowed U.S. money, taxpayer money, to be funneled covertly offshore. And again, this goes back basically to World War II, with the economic warfare that was developed by the OSS out of Buffalo, New York, by Donovan, to Washington, And out of that came structured schooling of those people to help do this. And out of that came Bill Casey. And they were using the Morgenthau fund. It was a fund based that came from actually McKinley with his tariffs, which was huge. And that money was then put into boxes with precious metals, 1931, 1933 silver certificates sent over to Chiang Kai-shek. Now, it's interesting how all this merges. After World War II, Truman decided that he wanted to do away with the OSS, so he disintegrated the OSS operation. Most of the people from OSS went to the State Department, and the State Department became a great covert operation. When Eisenhower came in, he brought back into place Owen Metals, who then became Marvin Timber Trust, and Bill Casey, which then actually ran this money. The reason why Eisenhower brought these two gentlemen back into service after they were discharged from the OSS, and they both were OSS, is that there was no one that Eisenhower trusted out of the democratic operations of going back to 1913, after FDR's 12 years plus, and then Truman. So there was nobody that Eisenhower could trust with the money. So he formulated a plan that these two gentlemen would run the money. And that brought us into the Marshall Plan to reconstruct Europe, which also led to the Iranian oil crisis of the 1950s. And then we went obviously into Vietnam. Now, prior to Vietnam, there was the Eagle II program that was conceived by the two brothers. I'm sorry, I can't at the moment. I can't remember the name. But they began the beginnings of the CIA, and that was the Eagle II program. Then found a way to fund the CIA off balance sheet. That increased the volume of monies going covertly from the United States out of the taxpayers' monies offshore to where they can come back as on the books money. The LBJ was a big proponent. Then we got into Reagan with Bush Sr. And Bush Sr. Pretty much orchestrated this operation and utilized Reagan's anti-communism to come up with the National Security Decision Directives, NSDD 32, 66, and 75, orchestrated and run by Casey, which basically said we can do anything and everything under the sun to destroy the Soviet Union. That enhanced these monies going offshore. It enhanced the covert operations of what I now call the REX. And that's one of the operations that we can track through all the way through the early 2000s up until 2013. The biggest problem that I have currently is this. The election that we have just gone through, which brings us to the second question. The danger signs are evident now, and we're seeing it, because the problem is that with this covert money going offshore and going to various parties, including Soros, who helped fund Soros defraud the British Kingdom of their pound, we now have a situation where under the Bush W, he brought in a dumbing down educational system. That core curriculum has done more to destroy this country than anything else. Education is where we start from. And the education that you and I, Mark, had no longer exists. We have generations coming out of an educational system that are basically too dumb to operate. And that's exactly what they want. That follows through with what the communist program that you elicited just a few minutes ago. That's where that comes from. So my problem with this is Trump has already disabled or dismantled the educational system to throw it back to the states with one problem. He hasn't told them what they should have in their system. He's told them what they can't have, CRT and all this other stuff, but he has not told the states what is mandatory. That is civics. That is pro-America education. And I have a real problem with it. The difficulty is with this last election has really shown us that without that educational system, we're going to elect what are called useful idiots, which we're seeing a lot of, to continue the decrease and the elimination of the United States of America. I have a real problem with that. And my problem with Trump is, and this is a critique, not really a devastating statement, he has forgotten the little people. He's promoting MAGA, but he's forgotten that MAGA is the little people. And those of us who are suffering and dying and worried about tomorrow, he has ignored us because he has picked up a proposal that I put with my 300 documents that I submitted in 2019 to him. And out of that document, I did a confidential affidavit promising in writing that when the gold treaty is executed, I will take a portion of the funds that I'm getting using the forfeiting platforms, and I will commit $30 trillion to the increase and betterment of the infrastructure of America. He's taken, on a joint venture basis, by the way, he's taken that idea and has gone around the world opening up pocketbooks of the foreign investors in the United States. But that doesn't help you and I. That doesn't help the RV. It forestalls the RV. And that is the problem that I have today.
JD Vance actually did a piece earlier this week saying that is part of their problem is because they've lost that sight of what was important to make America great again was for the working class, for the middle class and the working class. And that's where the focus needs to be. And he's like, I'm dedicated. We're going to push. And it appears based on how Trump's responded later in the week that JD, maybe they had a sit down or a talk, or maybe it's just optics and for our television, but it seems that that is the focus again.
I quite agree. I'm beginning to see more outlets like this morning in Fox they were talking about this a lot, which I thought was kind of interesting. Since I stayed up half the night doing notes on this diatribe, quote unquote, but it's disheartening to me. And the problem that I really see, and I really blew up yesterday and Monday, not only because of what my brother was going through, but because I was being harassed on a National Republican Committee. They were calling me, they were emailing me, and they were sending me texts. And finally I was called, and I told them, look, you want my advice? My advice is Trump sign and execute the gold treaty. Until that time, I'm not putting a dime forward because the rhinos are controlling the Senate. And I want them out. But the only way to get them out is to force the RV. And I believe the problem is this. Trump, like everybody else since Bush Sr. has gotten in office, everybody who's obtained that position will not give up that position lightly. And I know that Trump is worried that if he goes through this RV process, he has to stand election again. And I think that's a real problem.
I guess he doesn't have to stand election again. He can say, did my job, see you, peace out.
I can't see that happen.
Yeah, I'm looking for that politician. Pierre Leone, an outline yes, from the proposed Nacera from the Congressional Record. I know a lot of the websites, they're throwing in aliens and vibes and all kinds of extra stuff when they talk about Nacera, and you're just looking for something you can put in front of somebody that's not going to instantly trigger their, whether it's right or wrong, but trigger their, I don't know what you would call it, their tinfoil hat or something. Yes, there is. Voices of Freedom has it. A number of sites has a link or a download the PDF of the original from the Congressional Records.
NESARA is part and parcel to the protocols of the gold treaty.
I just don't have that link in front of me, but you can go over to Voices of Freedom to that Telegram, and they've got it, the PDF in there. You can download it.
In 2008, the fall of 2008, the beginning of 2009, Chief Justice Roberts had the NESARA in his hands to execute NESARA when Obama took over. Unfortunately, what happened was, as I call him, King Rat number 2, Cheney, who just recently died, unfortunately, because we want to hang him. He was the one that forced Roberts to give up and to claw back the NESARA articles to the White House. Really, really bad news.
Greg, this is one that's been just a wonderful, pleasant surprise has been Marjorie Taylor Greene. Has stated she wants to push for term limits. Imagine Congress ever voting on term limits. Newt Gingrich pushed it, and then his party threw him under the bus and ran the bus over him 5 or 6 different times because he had enough votes to pass it during the contract with America. Marjorie Taylor Greene has been, she is very much America first. She has gone after the rhinos even harder than she's gone after the Democrats.
Well, that brings us back to the whole point of term limits will get rid of and destroy the rats in a corporation. And that's what they didn't want to do. They don't want to do. Isn't it interesting that as Democrats go into the House of Representatives or even the Senate, within a couple of years, they become millionaires? No, gee, isn't that interesting? That is part and parcel to the corporation. Obama had to do 2 different oath-taking, one public and one private. The private one was for the corporation, to continue the corporation. And as we see, and I'm just now getting into January, February of 2009 in my book, and we can see when Obama came in, he was appalled by what Senior had done with W and Cheney. But as he saw the enormous amounts of money, and we're talking $1,000 trillion was floating around at that time, you can see why it was so easy to say, well, a little piece here, a little piece there. And we had all kinds of Democrats floating in and say, we can help Leo, for a piece. And unfortunately for them, I said, no, we're not going to do that. As much as Leo made the deals, I said no. And at that point, the W administration was very fearful, and they made this well known that I was going to destroy his administration because of that reason.
Thank you for the super sticker, and Houston, thank you as well. Before I forget, I don't want to not be properly thankful. So how do we change things? How do we fix things, Mr. C? I mean, is NESARA just going to magically fix it and there's no more problems ever?
So we have to be vocal about this, and this is where I'm probably getting a little bit too salty, but I'll tell you what. This has to be brought to the attention of Trump. The little people make him, the little people can break him. And if you go back to Casey, I'm pronouncing his name wrong. From the 1930s, Edgar Casey, there we go. He predicted that there was going to be a trouble spot in probably about now, with the people totally disclaiming the government and not believing the government. And if Trump doesn't get his act together, he's going to rue the day, and I do mean that. He's going to have real problems because the people are going to turn against him. You can't spend all your time and money on business and business alone and money.
Right, wrong, or indifferent. I want a business person running things, but right, wrong, or indifferent. Many people out there, it's all about the feel. So you got to take that into account too.
Correct.
Whether you give into all those same feels or not. JC Diamonds. If it ain't broke, break it and charge someone for the repair cost. Vin says Mr. C is absolutely correct. Stand up, make your voice heard. Much political BS.
The biggest thing about the book that I'm writing I think it's going to cause some real problems for anybody who tries to publish it. So I'm believing more and more I'm going to have to do this as a
Self-publish.
self-funding operation.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Self-publish.
I mean, they've got so many print on demand that you can do, Mr. C, where you don't have to do all the books. You don't have to buy all the books. They literally print them on demand. They're more expensive for the people buying, but it's a way to go ahead and have it out there immediately. As soon as you're ready to have it out there, I should say. You still haven't finished
Right.
writing it, folks. When I said that, don't blow up the inbox going, hey, how do I get a copy?
Yeah, I'm not ready yet. I've got over 1,000 pages printed so far, and well over 1,000 citations, and where I quote people. So it's very interesting what's going on. But I'm not there yet.
Ooh, that was a good one. What else do we want? Let's see. I'm like behind here. They love your deep dives. Casey,
good,
the
because
sleeping
it's-
prophet. I loved Edgar Casey and reading about Edgar Casey, learning about Edgar Casey. It was a fascinating study.
I was stationed in Norfolk for about 6 years in the Navy, and I visited the house that he lived in. It was very, very interesting.
Guys, the Edgar Casey Foundation is still there. They have a library building in Virginia Beach, like right pretty much on the water. You can see the water from it right across, like I think it's one street, maybe 2 streets over.
Yes.
And if you're in that area, it is worth the visit.
Great.
Very much worth the visit. And for those that don't know, because a lot of people like Edgar, oh, he's a prophet, he's this or whatever, run away. He was very religious.
Absolutely.
Mr. C, yeah, missed that one. I'm glad somebody mentioned that one. No rinks. Mr. C, what about the Ozempic fiasco yesterday? I don't know if you even saw that with the pharmaceutical reps, companies, etc., in the Oval Office.
I didn't catch the person who fell over, but I'll tell you honestly, this is one of the problems I have with Trump. He's making deals with rats who are out to kill us. For example, the mercury and all the vaccines. I don't understand. In a way, I do. It is unfortunate, but I think when you get to the point where Trump is now, where he's made so many brilliant steps, he has forgotten that he is not God. He is not the one who's going to solve the world's problems totally. And it's unfortunate. It's hard to critique him as well as not criticize. And I'm hoping that if we make this relevant, if we start talking about this, then maybe he can come down from on high and start solving the real problems. And the real problem is we have to get rid of farming for the most part.
Yeah, what do you think of? I mean, we're getting, maybe it's a lot of comms, maybe this is central casting, but nearly every one of Trump's Oval Office appearances of late, there's either some currency, some gold coins, something along that on the Resolute desk. Your thoughts? I'm not into comms, but it very much appears that he is, White Hats is, whoever, very much into comms.
I don't know that much about it. I view it as a distraction to the real problems that we're having.
Mr. C, is Raytheon a good or bad company? Do you know? Worried about my nephew. He works with the engineers. That's a good engineering job.
Well, Raytheon makes good products. They make parts of jets and weaponry, yes.
Missile guidance systems.
Guidance system. I have no problems with them.
Yeah, I look at them. I look at most of those defense companies more agnostic than anything. They're just businesses making money, right, wrong, and different. It's the people that buy the weapons and do things with the weapons. Kind of like a gun can be used by a good guy to save somebody or a bad guy to hurt somebody.
Now, sending those weapons to African nations to kill people because they're Christians, I disagree with.
Yeah, there you go. I'm with you. Steve, MarkZ, are you going to join the Chosen Ones today? No idea. Who's the Chosen Ones? Is there something I'm missing? Some podcasting group out there? Or is the fiery chariot coming to pick me up?
That I do not know.
Boy, I tell you, this is a painful truth. You can't have a power vacuum or you get more rats.
Absolutely.
That is,
when there's chaos, there are rats.
And that is one thing our CIA has, or I should say, not our CIA is really not our CIA. They're part of Five Eyes. They're part of a much bigger that tries to run the whole world, and the U.S. is just one of their pawns. That's my belief.
I was told by the Interpol guys that their one objective is to get rid of the CIA.
And they should, in my opinion. They've done more harm than good in the world, and I am a firm believer in that one. They create power vacuums on purpose so that they can fill them.
Correct.
And unfortunately, the collateral damage is the people of those countries.
Yep.
Oh, wait, Edgar Casey definitely did not write the Satanic Bible. Yeah, there is so much misinformation about Edgar Casey out there. That's why I suggest you go and you study there and read.
I've actually ordered his books. I have them. It's very interesting. His what do I call it? Self-diagnosis situations and self-healing. It's all based on prayer.
All based on prayer. And he would fast and go into prayer for long periods of time. He would talk about the Bible. He would also talk in great depth about how they had tried to subvert and change the Bible, how they had tried to remove women from the Bible, their role. I mean, Edgar Casey, if anything, was a deep diver.
Correct.
And those that changed it probably don't want you believing anything he said.
Really. I want to dumb us down.
Okay. Now I'm reading some of those. I just didn't know those. All right. So many things out there. So many different groups. No question that Trump uses art of war. I can't figure out how the Ozempic thing fits into that. Maybe he just wants people to know what the health consequences are of those things. I mean, you start doing it from the paralyzed stomach. I don't want to beat up, but at some point we got to stop treating everything with a pill and start getting to the root causes of toxic food, not the right kinds of food, and all of those things. Majority of the medicine out there we wouldn't need if we took care of ourselves.
I agree.
All right, Rebecca with one. Oh, just noticed the time. Rebecca with one for you and your thoughts. Why does it seem like Kash Patel and Pam Bondi are corrupt?
A lot of that has to do with propaganda. They're uncovering the rat holes and the various stashes of funds. And, if you trace the money, follow the money, this goes back to Watergate, follow the money, and you'll find out who's trying to destroy America. And that goes back to Soros. And as Chris Story put, and I'm learning a lot more from Chris Story. He's gone, but I'll tell you, his writing is still
his writing is still, it's very germane to what's going on exactly right now at this point in history.
And he came up with a group which were basically in Bavaria, which is the kernel of the problem of anti-America, called the DVD. Not the DVD disc, but the DVD. It's a long German name, I cannot pronounce it. But that's the beginnings of the EU, by the way, came out of the DVD in Bavaria to control. And just recently, I don't know if you noticed, but the Parliament in London just passed a law making it mandatory within 15, 18 months that everybody will have a digital ID required by law. I mean, my God, talk about the number of for the devil. I mean, it's crazy, but they want to control us, and that cannot be allowed here.
Yeah, we've got a lot of interesting challenges ahead, societally speaking. With no matter who wins this or doesn't. I did have a question. Some people wanted your thoughts on how long it was going to take for property values to change. I know we've talked about that before and how that mechanism would work to be able to adjust values. If, say, we revalue the dollar, we go back to a gold standard. That was one that I needed to ask today that I had a bunch of emails over the last 2 weeks on. One, do you understand the mechanism to reset or move those prices to maybe 70s values, 50s values, whatever it is?
To answer the question, no, we're not. We did not address the specifics of what happens after the RV very much, particularly because at the time we were discussing this, this whole process. We were curious and really determined to get it done, but not knowing if it would even get across the threshold prior to the 2013 gold treaty. So I don't know specifically, although I can postulate that once we to do the RV and the values change, it's going to take a little bit of time for the real estate to adjust, as well as stocks and bonds. So it's not something that's going to happen automatically, but it's just going to be a process.
Yeah, and I've seen one here. I'm going to answer real quick after we let you go, rather than keep you here for it. I mean, you're welcome to hang out. But this one actually kind of leads in towards that change in values, et cetera, that you had just mentioned. Mark Schreier asking a question: is our ZIM still good now with ZIG in circulation? Your answer is they're totally different. One's a bond, and one is their currency, their cash. So think of the ZIG, which is their new currency, and it's based on a gold standard, right? So it is something totally different. So it'd be like you having a $100 bill in your pocket and you having U.S. savings bond. Is there some value in both? Yes, but are they the same thing? Absolutely not. That's where you've got to look at your ZIM bonds and your ZIG currency. One is the currency and the money they're spending. One is a bond, like a U.S. savings bond that you would have bought your kids or your parents bought for you way back when.
That's correct.
And now think about the value changes in the U.S. We take that fiat currency that was based on nothing and we replace it with a value-based currency or a gold-backed currency. It's a totally different nut. I mean, everything changes on how you value things. It's like apples and oranges. They're totally separate and totally different. And that is where I think you're going to see that revaluation or that change, because it's a totally different measuring stick.
I quite agree.
Which is, I know, difficult thing to wrap the head around, but it's going to get much easier. It's easier, but it sounds more difficult than it is.
And I think that's the problem that we have with Trump. I think he's worried or scared that this whole thing's going to change the paradigm to where he cannot control as much as he thinks he wants to control. And I think that's we have to educate everybody. You know, we need the new technology, we need the gold-backed currency, and we need it soon.
Yes, we do. Dewey's got one for you. A parting question: do you know if the U.S. Treasury is or has been printing new U.S. asset-backed currency to replace the Federal Reserve notes? Do you think they've been busy printing away or have it sitting there in a box?
Those were printed back in 2008, called rainbow dollars. And they've been waiting to distribute that to the bank for many, many years. But those are already printed up. And because now we talk about the gold treaty and the protocols. Let me explain a little bit about the protocols. They were in place prior to NACERA being signed, all the way back to the early 2000s. It was presented as a program by the Treasury to align the markets and to align the monies. But as it went about with the corruption that occurred under Senior, W, and Obama and Biden administrations, they incorporated all that into the gold treaty. So those dollar bills have been around for quite a long time, just waiting to be distributed.
Anything else you want to add in closing?
Well, actually, I'd like to say thank you to Lyman. Your comments are much appreciated and support. I do appreciate it. And all those others who sent the messages, etc., regarding my brother's health, thank you very much. And I do hope that I am wrong. And I do hope that they show up tonight or tomorrow, and we'll get this thing going. But in the meantime, I shall see you next week.
Take care, Mr. C.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye now.
Let me get everything out of the way. Sing happy birthday, and we'll see if Matt and Lucas are joining us for a short bit today. A message from our sponsor for those that want to stick around for it. Stan, rainbow dollars. They're just called that. They've been called that from the beginning. They were actually called that before anybody's talking about an RV or a reset or any of those things. When the first newer bills were proposed, in order to be more counterfeit proof, they had a lot more color in them, so they were colorful compared to what we've always experienced in U.S. currency. So they got the nickname, not from us, but they got that nickname, the rainbow currency or or the rainbow dollars. Yeah, that's an easy one to go back and research. Birthday folks, Bert, Tebow, Wayne, and Oma Evie. And then we get to hang out with Matt and Lucas. So they tell me it's your birthday. Well, happy birthday, darling. May you live, may you love. May all your dreams come true. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to all those celebrating. Yeah, that rainbow one, actually, I think it came back in the 90s when they were first going to present the more red and green 5s and 10s. And then when they were doing the 100, it had like 4 or 5 different colors, including golden pots of gold and stuff like that. That's where that came from. Hello, Matt.
Hey, good morning, Mark. How you doing? Lucas here
Pretty
too?
good.
Huh? He in here, huh? Lucas?
He popped in when Mr. C was still on and popped back out. So I assume he's going to pop back in within a minute or two.
Yeah, no biggie. Yeah, good morning. How's it going for everything? Good?
Oh, yeah, no complaints.
Good.
Well, other than we haven't RV'd yet, because I was planning on going with you to the RV park this weekend. I need you to get off your butt and make it happen.
Yeah, well, you know what? That would be great to do that, but for sure, I got no control. But you know what? The whole thing I hope for in this whole thing is that we get the 51st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th states, you know? And I think that's going to happen by June 1st of next year.
I am still blown away. Have you guys been keeping up with those votes and the movements in Western Canada? I mean, they don't want to become our 51st state. They want to split into 3 different regions. They want to be our 51st or 52nd and our 53rd, 4th. I don't know, like 4 of them. I think.
Yeah, 4 of them. And all the natural resources come from that area. So the area that'll be left, they can just align themselves with Great Britain, I guess.
Yeah, or France. I mean, they're pretty much French Canada or whatever. Yeah. All right. Anyways, we now have Lucas in the house too.
Yeah, right on, Lucas. There you go.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Okay, Mr. Lively.
We just switched roles.
Lucas has had a tough month or so straight between move, work, changes. I mean, it's been a tough time to be a Lucas.
It has been tough. Matt beats me up pretty good, but it's like, man, even in the last 2 weeks, moving and having flooding in the house today.
I haven't heard about the flooding in the house.
Yesterday we didn't have any power. We lost all power to the home because a hawk. It's hilarious. These guys down here, man, they're just, a hawk shorted out to 5 homes, on our, lane, and it just took them 7-8 hours to fix. But I couldn't believe it. It burnt that sucker completely up. And then today, none of our heating works, and we're supposed to have a huge cold front come in Sunday, Monday.
Huge cold front.
It just,
and you haven't been there long enough to have like wood chopped, stacked, all the normal stuff that you would do in your old home. To have that infrastructure from generator to all those things.
Yeah, so it's definitely just a lot, from the flooding, now the HVAC, the electricity out. It's just been kind of survival mode.
I hear you. Now, Lucas, I don't know if you can see the screen. You probably can't. But if you I got a doll here, and if you can just point to the areas like where Matt hits you and
I literally just put my finger. You probably can't see it, but I definitely put my finger where Matt.
Okay. We look. This is a PG show. You don't have to tell us exactly where. We'll talk about this later.
Just use your imagination.
Oh boy, good thanks. But no, that doll, it almost looked like Lucas too. It was that
right?
It really did.
I bet there's no hair underneath that hat too. Oh no, it has hair. All right, we can't get away with that one. Happy birthday, Sunny Cindy.
Is that Mark? Where did you get that doll now? What is that for?
That was from the Texas Renaissance Festival. Somebody sent along with a great shirt. I mean, I like it. I use it like, it's my Mike Barr doll. It's my just show me where Matt beat you, Lucas doll. It works. I mean, it's very universal. It works great.
Yeah, it's nice. Nice doll. But it does look like Lucas for sure. Yeah. I've seen him wearing that outfit before too. It's his Tennessee woodsman outfit.
It's
It looks like Davy Crockett kind of or something.
Darn right it does.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
an
anyway,
elf.
should we do the
Wait, isn't he
specials,
like the
guys?
king of the wild frontier or something?
King of the wild frontier.
Frontier.
Lucas.
Yeah, it was
Lucas.
All right, Matt. Tell us how to get in there real quickly, because Lucas, it sounds like, going to have to go back to getting work done.
Yep. You probably have to go to a psychologist after this. But anyway. Okay, so here we go. Starting today at 8:50 a.m., me and Scotty got together and put together the specials. Earlier than that, about 8 o'clock we started. Okay, so to get to the CBD Gurus, you go to thecbdgurus.com, thecbdgurus.com. And then when you get in there, you'll hit the wholesale button. And when you're in there, you'll hit the MarkZ wholesale right on top there. And then you'll get in there. And if you have to put a code word in to get in the site, it's lowercase KRAM CBD.
You can even see it on the screen. I'm going to like hit the eyeball. There it is in the box.
Yep. It's in there, and then you just hit it, and then you'll be in the specials. Now, if you don't see something on special, it probably is in one of the other boxes in there. And then you can hit those little purple boxes. What color is that? Is that purple or blue? I can't even tell. But anyways, you hit one of
It's
those
blurple.
boxes.
It's blurple.
Blurple, yeah.
Blurple.
There you go.
Because, like, look, once you highlight them, it changes from the little blue one to the purple one. So it's blurple.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so here's what we got going today, you guys. We didn't do the currency last week, so we're going to do it this week. We had a lot of people call. They want some more currency. So at $25, not including shipping or discounts, anything you order in there, you get 10 million Venezuela Bolivar. At $50, not including shipping or discounts, you get 10 million Venezuela Bolivar, 25,000 Indonesian rupiah, and yeah, they're whatever they are, their currency, and go for them, and I think they're going to be good. Okay, at $100, you get the 10 million Venezuela Bolivar, 25,000 Indonesia, 50,000 Vietnamese dong. So you got the trifecta there. You know, you don't even have to go buy any if you're thinking about it. Just get some stuff here and you're all set. You don't even have to leave your own credit card. And if you don't even want to put in your own order and you can't do that, give Wendy a call at 612-412-8343. But also at 125, if you've gotten that far and you want to get a little bit more, we're giving something really nice away this week. It's the 60-count mushroom gummies with the 4 mushrooms in it. And so you get up to 125. You get, not including shipping or discounts, you get that free too. So you get everything plus that. And that's a $39 value. So just buy $25 of something else and then you get that free, you guys. Okay. And then, well, let's move on down to the specials. There's the number 612-412-8343. If you need to text something that we have to get after, just give me a text on that, or else just give that a call if you need help doing your order. If you got a question, do kind of a quick question because we're pretty busy on Friday and Saturdays, you know. And yeah, there's no problem. I had a guy call yesterday. He just wanted to talk, you know, and I just said, well, that's cool, but I got to get going, you guys. A lot of work to do, moving over to the warehouse and stuff, our new warehouse. And yeah, that's
Wisconsin.
Yeah, and thank God for Wisconsin because they just go by the federal rules, you know. And you know, all these states making up their new own rules. I'm going to say it right now. If Minnesota ever becomes its own country, I'm going to move out because they won't be able to. They'll just become a disaster. It'll be like Lithuania or something or whatever. It'll be a disaster. So, anyways, the specials, coffee special. We got the coffee down there for $29. Now, if you're paying attention. And this is the pay attention special. Right next to it for the same price, you get the coffee, plus you get a concentrate for free with it. So order that one. Don't order the other one because then you get something free with it. Okay. Okay. And then if you want drinks, this might be the last week shipping them. If it gets cold, too cold, I don't know if it will or it won't, but we'll see. We got orange, cherry, and lime, $4.50 a can. We've got the small bag of mushroom coffee. There's 5 mushrooms in there, everybody. Remember that. Plus the concentrate, we got mushrooms in there. And concentrate, the people really liked it. Everybody got it there. Now, the only comment is to just get a flavor without the sweetening in it, you guys. And we do. We have that coming. That'll be here next weekend. But right now we've got the 3 flavors. Okay, so now we've got what else? I got to better move my screen.
The X-Freeze, the Summer Breeze, the Lotion
Yep.
2000, looking to lotion you up so you're not ashy this winter.
Yeah, don't forget about those lotions and all you Delta 8 guys right there. There it is, 30 count. And we've got the Lion's Mane capsules. We got the Turkey Tail capsules. We got the 20 pack of the Excite gummies. That's 10 milligrams each. And then we've got the chocolates. We've got 6 different flavors of chocolates, nuggets, and caramels. You get 10 of those for $35. We got the 60 count mushroom for $39, but you get that free if you get the 125. That's a great product. Get on the mushrooms. Mushrooms will help your physical out. Everything about you, it'll help you. We got the Lion's Mane gummies. We got the 5 Matrix 5 mushroom capsules. We will have, we'll have the CBD ones with CBD probably later next week or midweek. And then we've got the 3 gummy packs for $21. If you want an individual one, they're $8. We got the sleep, the regular gummies. Those regular gummies got 50 milligrams of CBDs, Miracle Gold, HCV, all the oils, everything's in there. Just scroll down, you'll see them all. And just remember on the liquids for the drinks, we got to ship those before it gets too cold. So this might be the last week or next weekend. You never know. Okay, well, that's all the specials, you guys. And go in there and order them. Get the currency. If you never got any currency, you'll probably get enough to tide you through the currency extravaganza whenever it happens. I hope it happens soon. Like Mark said, I guess I got to push the button. I'm the button pusher on that. Is that right, Mark?
Yeah, right?
Yeah. If it was the remote control on my TV, we literally would have did it a million times. So anyways, and it's not. Lucas, what do you think about it? Let's give Lucas the button, Mark. Lucas, you can have the button to start the RV.
Yeah, give him the button.
I don't want to push no button. I barely can push the button for my life to get it going right.
Somebody's saying they tried that number and the voicemail box is full.
612-412-8343.
Yeah, I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, just listen. I don't think so, Mark. No, I mean not.
But
listen,
send
Mark,
it a
I'm just
text.
saying, I don't think so because it's been forwarded. So no, it's not. Full.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
then,
probably whatever. Yeah.
Other question I'm seeing asked. I've seen it like 3 or 4 times for the different platforms. Somebody wants to know the difference between the Excite D9 and your normal. If they're 10 milligrams of D9 each, they just want to know what's the difference. So they order the right thing.
Well, it's a little bit different flavored. That's why it's a little bit cheaper in price, but it
has more cannabinoids in it. So it has a bunch more cannabinoids in it, but it is more robust. And Matt, are they referring to the gummies?
Yeah, the gummies.
Yes,
yeah,
gummies.
Their taste is more robust because of the amount of cannabinoids in it, and we used a different distillate, so it has more CBC, which is mostly where the taste comes from. It's very
so it's gonna be more
pungent.
of like I hate to say it, but a pop flavor.
Yeah, it's definitely more pungent because of all the other cannabinoids, especially the CBC. So if you just want the THC and the CBD, the regular Guru's 10 milligrams where it's at. If you want more of the cannabinoids, but a more pungent taste, if you will, the Excite's where it's at. So it just depends on, kind of what you're after. But definitely on those, there's a ton more cannabinoids in it.
Yeah, and a lot of these questions, guys, they join us early tomorrow. So like on Saturday, we crank up 9:45 a.m. Eastern. and dive in, and they answer questions for the first 45 minutes. Okay, we might cut up a little bit and have some fun because I like cutting up with these guys. So save a lot of these questions, think on them. We had a lot of good ones last week. Coco says, do you ship to New Zealand? I already know the answer. CBD laws. I don't think you ship anywhere internationally.
No, we don't. But I'd imagine by internationally, like by July of next year, we'll be probably doing 2/3 of what used to be Canada, I'm guessing. I just thought I'd throw that in because I feel bad for those people in the provinces that support those creeps in the east over there. So anyway, sorry about that. No, New Zealand, you guys are nice. You're cool, but we can't ship there, and that's Lucas's fault because he told me I can't.
It's always on me.
Sherry brought up a really good idea. Says Order Up makes a great white elephant gift for holiday parties. I don't know about the white elephant thing. I don't know what that means, but I would assume like last minute holiday gifts or whatever, or those what is it, Secret Santa things like that. So somebody having a tough time with the code, it is all lowercase and it is KRAMCBD.
Yep.
Somebody had a capital K, a G at the end. No, it is just KRAMCBD. All lowercase works great.
And hey, the chocolates and all that stuff, you guys, is 15 milligrams a piece. So don't go overboard on that. And
oh no, the change in chocolates. These are considerably kicking butt harder than what they were had before, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, you can cut it in 3 pieces. If you got 2 other people over and have a little party there for sure.
So are you suggesting we make s'mores?
Yeah, little ones with 2 Ritz crackers with a third of one. And you know what? Oh God, that's great.
It'll be like tapas s'mores.
Yep. That'll be for my casino night. It'll be Ritz crackers with chocolates on them. Yeah, there you go. Nice. Just a third of one, maybe a quarter of one, maybe even smaller. It's just all I gotta just meet up with Lucas and see what we're gonna do on the party there, because I guess we're gonna have a little holiday party, me and Lucas, and eat the chocolates on Ritz's crackers.
Yeah. Oh, I say we get you some graham crackers and mushrooms, and if you're gonna cut them to little pieces, we'll get you those little mushrooms and.
Okay.
I mean, we got to do something with that easy bake oven.
Oh my God! You know how many times I asked for the easy bake oven from the kindergarten through 5th grade, and my parents wouldn't give it to me. I asked for it so many damn times, it was unbelievable, and they'd always say, "Matt, it was out of stock," and it was just like bullshit. They just thought I was just turning weird or something. I wanted it to make something neat. And so then they ended up finally getting me the creepy crawler thing. And I put that stuff in there. I thought it was like a gummy, and I started eating it. I think I was in 2nd grade or some damn thing.
Oh,
yeah, it was
where you were making
rubber.
like your own little like rubber creepy crawly or like a fishing lure kind of. I think I remember those. I don't think it was edible though, was it?
No, it wasn't. And I started eating it, and I go, "This is horseshit." I said it to my mom. She was sitting there watching me, and she goes, "I don't think you're supposed to be eating them, Matt. Let me look at the package." And I go, "Well, you bought it for me for Christmas. Come on, Mom, get it together." But anyways, didn't you? I'm just kidding around. Actually,
I think this is
that's the way we would have talked to each other. My mom was a fan.
All right, guys.
Yeah, you guys, we'll see you tomorrow, Mark. That'll be fun,
Oh, yeah, no, it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. And they're asking for an update on your weight loss. Did you keep going? What did you do? I see some folks asking some questions. So we'll start tomorrow with Matt and weight loss questions.
Oh, I can't. I already know the answer to that. I can't wait to answer it because I gave him a super hard time this morning.
You know what? I had a cheese sandwich.
Nope. We're not even going to go there. We're going to talk in the morning about it. We're not going to give them an indication as to what's going to happen. It's going to get crazy tomorrow morning. Okay. Join us tomorrow, 7:45 a.m.
That's right.
Okay. It's going to be epic. I'm looking forward to it, guys.
Yeah. Okay. So, thanks, guys. Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Lucas.
Hey, guys, go in there, get your 60 count free jar of gummies. Mushroom gummies.
Right on. Yep.
All
right.
Hey, have a good
Thanks
one,
a
Mark.
lot.
We'll see you in the morning.
Thanks,
You
Mark.
guys.
See you guys. Take care. Bye.
For the rest of you, I'll see you tomorrow morning. Mods, appreciate you greatly. If there's any breaking news, guys, look in X, Truth, Telegram, and if it's really good breaking news, we'll go live. Take care, but read the description. We might go live for something. You never know. There may be some kind of other breaking news, not RV related. So definitely read the description. If you ever see me go live in an off time, read the video's description. All right, guys, take care and see you tomorrow.